Hello, hi everyone, and welcome to the Royal House of Bratz YouTube channel. Today, in celebration of Bisexual Awareness Week, we are thrilled to have a very special guest with us today, Diaan Grobler! They never clap.
I do.
Well done. Diaan is a proud and outspoken member of the LGBTQ+ community, and he is here to share his insights and experiences as a bisexual person. And we are excited to delve into his unique perspective. Thank you for joining us, Diaan.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we're going to kick it off with the first question. Diaan, can you start by telling us what Bisexual Awareness Week means to you personally?
Well, Bisexual Awareness Week it's a week where we want to raise awareness for bisexual people, and not just the bisexual people. It's everybody that's fluid, pansexual. It's a big umbrella term, but we welcome everybody. So it's just to get the allies behind us, raise awareness and remove the stigmas that are around bisexuality.
Oh, the stigmas. We'll get to that in a bit. In your opinion, what are some of the most common misconceptions about bisexuality that you would like to address?
Firstly, we're not confused.
Yes, everybody thinks bisexual people are confused because you're either gay or you're either straight. There is actually people out there born bisexual,
yes,
liking both genders.
And also it's not half gay, half straight. That's
okay, yeah.
It oversimplifies the term because there's no percentage connected to it. It's a spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the bisexual flag, it's pink, purple, blue. No,
like my makeup.
Yeah, exactly. If you mix blue and purple, blue and pink, you get purple. But if you add more blue, it's still purple, just a darker shade, and vice versa with pink. Mm-hmm. So no bisexual is 50-50. You do get them, but it's not everybody.
So you get bisexuals that's 70-30 perhaps?
Exactly.
But
so,
that doesn't mean they're gay.
Yes, no, still bisexual. It's also not a phase. We don't use it as a stepping stone. A lot of people say that, but we don't. We are not promiscuous, contrary to popular belief. Mm-hmm. And we are not polyamorous. Some are, some aren't. But I think it's a big stereotype that people throw onto us, and that's why we get so much shame.
Okay, so for the audience out there, can you explain to us what exactly polyamorous means?
Polyamorous is a situation where it's not one, a couple consists of two people. Polyamorous is three people. Mm-hmm. People think bisexual people are polyamorous. Like, no, we do not date men and women at the same time. There are people that do, but for the majority of the people, it's not. You can't put everybody under the same umbrella.
Because everyone is made differently and built differently.
Exactly.
Unique.
Yes.
Your own barcode.
And we do not cheat. We're not promiscuous. Cheating comes in any situation.
Yes, I know a lot of straight people that cheat.
Exactly.
I know a lot of gay people that cheat. Men and women.
And the fear comes in because we're bisexual. If I'm with a guy, people think I'm going to cheat on a girl, or with a girl, and when I'm with a female, people think I'm going to cheat on her with a guy. So it's not how it works. Cheating.
So is dating difficult for you as a bisexual?
I wouldn't say difficult, but challenging.
More challenging than...
Yes. Because every relationship I've had so far is trying not to convince people, but more educate them on the stereotypes and the false information that there is out there.
Yeah, because if you are not in a person's shoes, you can't exactly know what it is or how it is or...
Yeah, that's precisely how it is.
Okay, and that is exactly why we're doing this interview, so that everyone out there can be educated. Bisexuals is also part of the LGBTQ+ community.
Thank you. The B doesn't stand for bisexual, stands for badass.
Ah, I love that! Badass. Okay, I love that. I'm going to change it. Consider that stolen. How do you feel about the bisexual community fits into the larger LGBTQ+ community or family?
Well, if I have to go with the intersectionalities, we don't just touch on sexuality, we touch on race, gender, and any socio-economic groups. And people think they all integrate together. Bisexual people also bring a bigger part and more diverse experiences to the full community, and we've got unique experiences compared to our counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that. What are some of the unique challenges that bisexual individuals face within the LGBTQ plus community?
Well, some of the biggest challenges we face inside the community is getting challenged inside and outside of the community, where the LGBT community would say we are confused, we can't pick a side. The heterosexual community would say we are going through a phase, we can't, it's more or less the same challenges, but it's
Just from different sides.
exactly. Biphobia, where people would prejudices and, like I said earlier, the promiscuity, the conscious side, it comes back onto like attack on us sometimes. Bi erasure, where people would say we don't exist. I'm like, it's LGBT.
Mm-hmm.
And well, mental health. I read a study not so long ago where according to studies, bisexual people have the highest percentage of mental health issues because of the challenges from both sides. Yeah.
Okay. Can you talk about the importance of visibility and representation for bisexual individuals? Why is Bisexual Awareness Week so important?
To raise awareness, first of all.
To make sure that we are here. He is living. He is here.
I am here.
I can't touch him. It's not a fiction of my imagination.
I'm not a unicorn. We don't get enough representation in media, and over the last few years we've gained so much more visibility. If I think about TV shows, Schitt's Creek, Orange is the New Black, even some celebrities that have come out as bisexual, it helps us so much more to get that message across, like we are here, we are not a fiction of anybody's imagination, and yeah.
We are part of the world.
We are part of the community and part of the world.
Yeah, I agree fully. How can allies support the bisexual community more effective?
Speak up. If you see somebody being homophobic, biphobic, speak up, stand your ground, be an ally. If you see misrepresentation or any unjust, speak up. Educate yourself. That's the most important thing, because so many people are uneducated and they start forming opinions on something they don't know about. Just being there, create a safe space for not just the bisexual people but everybody in the community, to let them know that I'm a safe person to come out to. I've got your back.
I won't judge.
Don't speak on topics that you don't know about. It's very important, because so many people,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so many people
speak up and then they don't have the right information and it comes out incorrectly. So it can cause some damage.
Especially people with powerful voices. I mean, if you have a powerful voice and you are uneducated about stuff, don't talk about it.
Yes.
Because majority of people follows you and a majority of people believes what you're saying.
It takes away from the actual message.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what role do you think bisexuality plays in breaking down binary thinking about sexual orientation?
Yo, that's a big question. Binaries exist, but they also don't exist. I think bisexuality opens up the topic for fluidity. It's not just one or the other, and I think majority of the population have got this binary mindset, one or the other. And bisexuality opens up the inclusion for non-binary people, the fluid people, asexuals, omnisexuals. Oh, there's a lot. It's a big umbrella.
That is why we are a colourful community.
Yes.
Everyone is there.
Bisexuality is one of the top sexualities out there. The other ones are not so well known. So I think bisexuality opens up the gateway for all the other ones that have not yet grasped or secured a footing with the rest of the world, if I can put it like that. How do I put it? They've not secured their place yet.
Yeah.
So bisexuality will open up those gates for the people that have yet to express their asexuality, even transgenders. A lot of them fall into the bisexuality community.
Okay. Why do you say that? Explain yourself.
So I'm speaking from experience.
Okay.
It's not a fact. But I know people that were male, transgendered into female, and as a male they liked females, but as a female, transgender female, they like males. So and as soon as they started transitioning into the other part of themselves that they actually concealed, it's like they opened up a part of their sexuality they never knew about as well.
Okay. Because I know of transgender people that was male and is now female, and when they were male they were even married to a woman, have a child, and now that they are female they are into both sexes.
Yes, and you also get the ones where they transition and it's completely the opposite. Their sexuality goes with the gender that they are now.
Yeah, also another couple that I know of, they both transitioned. One was female, one was male, and they both transitioned to the other, and they are married to each other today.
And that's what they prefer.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You see, never too old to learn something. How can the LGBTQ plus community as a whole work to be more inclusive of bisexual individuals?
It goes back to the other questions and answers as well. Be inclusive, create safe spaces, not just for one member of a group, but the entirety of a group. Educate yourselves as well, because a lot of the LGBT community are so focused on their own and they want to be accepted, but they forget about the rest of them.
Mm-hmm. They forget about bisexuals, the transgenders, the drag queens.
Exactly. And I've met...
Even the drag queen kings.
Yeah, I've not met any, but yeah. So many people focus on being accepted for who I am, but what about the rest? You need to grant that for everybody else that you come across as well.
Let the sun shine.
For everybody, yes.
I fully agree with that statement, and I support that statement. Can you share any positive changes you've seen in society's acceptance of bisexuality over the years?
Yes, we have gotten more media and, especially in the movie industry, representation. Grey's Anatomy is a good example. I don't know if anybody watched it, Calliope, Kelly Torres. She is one of the best, love her. She represented fully and without a doubt how bisexual people can be. Celebrities.
So would you say she is the best representation for you out there?
Yes, because she came out as a bisexual not long after being outed and not outed.
In real life?
Yes, in real life as well. And looking at the celebrities as well, Halsey, Lady Gaga, I think it's Alan Cummings.
Really?
Alan Cummings.
Alan Cummings, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them, the more they speak up, the more awareness it creates. Miley Cyrus. There's a lot. I can't think of them all.
It's too quickly now for my brain. What advice would you give to someone who is struggling to understand or accept their bisexuality?
Ooh, that's going to be a very biased answer, but for me it was focus on yourself and know who you are. Get to know yourself first before you start letting any other opinions in on from other people. Educate yourself as well. Read up, do research, whatever you need to understand what's going on with you better. For me, when I came out, it was a very internalized homophobia, biphobia situation. And as soon as I leaned into my same-sex attraction, it opened up the understanding of what I am. And that's where my exploration came through.
Okay.
The curiosity is your best friend. So if you want to know something, ask.
I always say you have to try at least everything once.
Yes, that's why.
Twice if you like.
That's why I tried both.
Exactly, you see. And then you will realize, okay, yes, this is for me or this is not for me. And if it's not for you, that's cool. And if it's for you, that's also cool.
Yes.
And if both is for you, then even better.
Neither. Also
Neither.
better.
Also, you get that too.
It's a lot of people come from religious backgrounds, and that affects how a person comes out tremendously. Am I going to disappoint my family? For those that are religious, am I going to be hated by God? Am I doing No. It's a lot of internal struggle, but it's like that for everybody. So don't try, if you don't want to label yourself, that's also good. You don't need to, but labeling sometimes helps you find your identity.
Discovering yourself.
Yes, and if you've got a label, you've got a topic to go into. So it's different for everybody, but it's a long journey to travel, but eventually, once you get there, a big weight lifts off your shoulders.
Yes, agree, fully. I also, when I came out to my parents, that was like the first momentarily big thing in my life, and I was scaredless. And after that, it felt like you are just more free to be
Who you
who
are.
Yeah.
I also feel bisexuals have a harder time coming out because it's a double rejection, if you put it like
Don't you think they have a harder time coming out because they are not educated enough on themselves either?
Yes, and because of the backlash we get from the communities. Because when I came out and the topic came up with my family, so if I go into a relationship with a female, I'm going to be straight now. I'm like, no, don't get your hopes up, don't put any expectations on that. I am still bisexual regardless of what gender I go into a relationship with. For the gay community, a lot of people, I've been in conversations and discussions where people say, you're not bi. I was also bi. I just used it as a stepping stone. And I'm like, I think a lot of people hold back of coming out to prevent those type of topics and discussions. So I'm like, I feel like the majority of the LGBT community is bisexual. But because a lot of them don't come out, or they don't feel the need to disclose their sexuality, because if I'm in a relationship with a female and I don't have to disclose my bisexuality to anyone else, people won't know.
It looks normal.
It looks normal. But if I go into a relationship with a guy, people automatically assume I'm gay. So bisexuality, in a sense, automatically just gets like pushed out either way. But people, they're shocked sometimes when you tell them I'm bisexual. They're like, what? You're not gay, straight? I'm like, no, bisexual. Let's learn the word, it's bisexual.
Okay, so you educate people as well?
Yes.
Good on you.
Sometimes we use the word gay for ourselves as well because it's just easier of going into that discussion of like, oh, bisexuals. So it's not our word and we don't want to take it from anybody. But as soon as you say bisexual, and a lot of people are like, hey, he's gay, I'm like, I understand what you're trying to say, but it's bisexual.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, so the next question was, Diaan, can you share your personal journey on discovering and embracing your bisexuality?
Well,
so here comes your story. I've been waiting for this part.
I grew up, I had a very hands-on type of dad and a very hands-on type of mother. So I wouldn't say overbearing, but very strong personalities. Dad was a mechanic, likes to work outside with his hands, and mom's a DIY, creative,
Okay.
let's be in the kitchen.
Artisty.
Yes. I never liked being outside working with my hands, and I always went inside with my mother. I liked baking, and ever since I was young, I was mocked and bullied. I didn't like playing with boys, I liked playing with girls. I didn't like playing outside with cars. Even though I like cars, I liked being inside. So ever since I can remember, it was always like, oh, he's like a girly boy. He likes playing inside. He's very sensitive. So part of me knew I wasn't the same like everyone else was.
Like the rest of the boys?
Yes. And as I grew up, I knew I had an attraction to females, emotionally first and then sexually. And as puberty started kicking in, wow, that was a big experience. This weird feeling of, but I like guys too, like this is a weird feeling. But growing up in my family, it wasn't that easy. They were okay with gay people and the LGBT, but sometimes you could hear the way that they speak of them, and for me it was like a, no, I'm not going to come out. And it was
afraid.
Like, I was afraid. That's where the internalized biphobia, homophobia came in. I'm like, this can't be. Parents divorced, and for me a big fear was rejection, abandonment. So me, I did everything in my power to be a good boy. Overachieved.
To be proud, your
Yes.
parents proud of you.
If I excel in everything that I do, and I come out with this information, you can't leave me. That's what goes through my head, what went through my head. And a big shock. None of those things helped me in life. Coming out was I always say to people, never come out because of someone. Come out when you're ready at your pace. And I unfortunately came out because I fell for someone, first love. And I was planning on telling my mother after my 18th birthday, and she saw something was up in April 2015.
Okay.
And she told me, it was like a week, I was getting very dissociative in the house and detaching myself, and I was not being myself because I was preparing for what was coming. And my mother told me, you're not leaving this house until you tell me what's wrong.
The mom always knows.
She knows. And I was like, okay. She's like, you're not going anywhere, so let's do this now. And it took me about half an hour just to gather the words of saying, so my mom and I used to say fabulous. We say that's a fabulous person. So it's not so hardcore saying gay or offensive.
Okay.
And then I told her...
So it was your cover word, fabulous.
Yes, like a code word. Okay. And then I told her, you know, when we speak about fabulous people, she's like, yeah. I'm like, well, I'm half fabulous. And she's like, what? I'm like, I'm bisexual, mother. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I like boys and girls. And for me, it was like an hour, just gathering all those words and encouragement, just to out those words to my mother. And then it was a very emotional situation, and then it came to a point where she's like, and a lot of people have this concept about LGBT communities, like, somebody touch you. I'm like, no, that's not how this works. And that's where my education journey with my family started. So it took us about a year while staying in the house with my parents to get back to a relationship that's actually open, and because she said, where did she go wrong, and this and that, because I was not the first one in my family to come out. I think I was the fifth one.
Okay.
So it was okay. It felt good, but it took me such a long time just to be myself. And I told her, like, I will distance myself for you, to give you time to accept and process what you need to.
And educate yourself.
And ask me. Don't come up with assumptions.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I didn't make a public coming out story. I just went into my first same-sex relationship, and that's how I told people. I'm like, this is me. And ever since then, I've been very outspoken for the injustice, the unjust in the whole world. On socials, in society.
Yes, you did a video for us last year also for Pride.
Yes, family, friends, I don't care who you are. If you don't speak with respect, decency, or an informed opinion, I will not take you on, but I will
open my mouth
and correct you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you. Okay, what have been some of the biggest challenges you faced as a bisexual person?
Not so long ago, like recently, people found out who I am, not because I was hiding it. It was more of a situation of not outing somebody else. And they were fine with me before they knew, and afterwards it was like a whole disgusting, you're a disease.
Was this with friends now?
Friends, yeah. And for me it was more of amusing, like, but if I was a disease, you would have caught something before you knew it. Anyway. So I took it with a grain of salt, and it came to the point where I was refused to be on the property and anything, and
because of your bisexuality?
Because of my bisexuality, and the words were like, it's so gross because you use your and it goes in there, and I'm like, why do you go to the bedroom immediately when you find out somebody's sexuality?
Exactly.
I do not go immediately into your bedroom, or like, oh, you two are together, so you must be doing it this way or this way.
Yeah.
So it was a big thing. It's a lot of prejudice coming through from both sides. And I was just like, she's got her own demons to deal with. I didn't do anything wrong, and I'm not going to apologize for that. With relationship-wise, I haven't really had trouble there. People are okay eventually. Eventually. Because it's more like, are you sure you're not gay? I'm pretty sure I'm not gay. Because then you would be in public and you admire a beautiful woman or guy, and they're like so confused. I'm like, that's confusion for you, not for me.
Yeah.
I can admire
Beauty.
Yes.
Whether it's boy or girl.
And they get so sometimes.
Even me as a gay guy can admire a beautiful girl and tell my fiance, oh my word, she's beautiful.
Yes.
It's not that I'm sexually attracted to her, but beauty is beautiful.
But some of them, you do have that intense attraction to, like, but I don't. I'm like, that's okay.
Guys maybe, but I've never had a sexual attraction to a girl. Not even when I acted straight during my primary school years and high school years.
I think it's different for everybody, because when it comes to guys, it's more of a sexual attraction first, then emotional. And when it comes to females, for me, it's more of emotional than sexual.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of my own trauma and insecurities that I had dealt with, because coming out, using my body was a way of feeling good of
myself.
Myself, yeah. So I didn't have a lot of respect when I came out for myself at first, because I was dealing with a lot. And it came to a point where sex with a guy is easy. It's easier to get with a guy than a girl. So for me to feel that instant dopamine and I feel good about myself and wanted, I'd go to a guy. If I wanted the more emotional, let's drop the walls and vulnerability, it was females. So I don't know if it's like that for everybody, but that was my experience. And it came to a point where I'm like, I've got respect for myself. My past is my past. I can't change that, but it did create and shape me into the way I am now.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, so have you encountered any form of biphobia? Okay, that we've just answered now. What have been some of the most rewarding aspects of being open about your bisexuality?
Personal authenticity, first of all. I could embrace who I was fully, without limits, and the experimentation, exploration, finding my identity, shaping it every time, creating more connections and real connections. Not when you're in the closet, it's difficult to connect with people fully because you hide the part of yourself, and as soon as you come out, it's like, this is me fully. I don't have to like wait for that anticipation of, so there's another part of me I need to tell you about. Now it's just, this is who I am. It creates more meaningful relationships as well, and you don't have that guilt anymore, that shame that comes through with it. Although some people do try and shame you, it's like what's on the duck's back.
Yeah, you must have a thick skin.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
And for me, my own journey so far, and I've told a few people this, like, it's because I've been so outspoken and not hiding it. A few people have approached me asking me how to come out and what was my experience, and I do feel honored. And that I tell everyone like, it's your own experience. I can't tell you what I did, but I can guide you, and I'll be there for you if you need anyone to fall back on. So it's created a more close-knitted community for me, and it's allowed me to use my voice in ways that I've never used it before.
Okay, cool. Well done. How has your experience as a bisexual person influenced your relationships and interactions within the LGBTQ+ community?
It falls a little back on the previous question. I've made more personal connections. I've actually allowed myself to date and go into relationships, even if they didn't work out, without the fear of rejection, even though it's still there, but more of like, I'm approaching this situation as who I am in the full entirety, not a part of me hidden and like...
just the shade coming out?
Yes. It's also allowed me to gain new experiences. The gay community is a wild ride for some people. I remember up until I was maybe 21, I was in and out of the clubs all the time, and that's meeting new people, people of different cultures, different experiences, age groups, different sexualities, and that's where I started educating myself as well and creating bonds that I never knew I would. And some of these friendships have lasted 2015, I think it's what now, 9 years?
Almost 10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, that's a lifetime. Finally, Diaan, what positive message would you like to share with the bisexual community and the LGBTQ plus community as a whole during this Bisexual Awareness Week?
Don't wait until you're confident enough to act. The confidence will build as you take action. I know it's fearful and it's a very big wall that's sitting in front of you. Once you start climbing up and you reach the top, the rewards are unimaginable. A weight lifts off your shoulders and it's a whole new type of freedom that I can't explain it. It's something that you experience, and when you do get there, your whole family will have your back, and by family I mean your community.
It's not necessarily your blood family, sometimes your blood family too, but more the chosen family that you choose.
Yes, you get a bigger family as soon as you step into that life.
Hallelujah, I agree fully with that part. So thank you very much, Diaan, for joining us today and for sharing your time and insights with us today. Your experience and perspectives are incredibly valuable, and we are appreciative of your opinion, openness and honesty. We wish everyone a happy Bisexual Awareness Week and Day. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Royal House of Bratz, for more inspiring content. And thank you all for watching.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Diaan.
Thank you.